Referral Roadmap, real talk and real strategies. This podcast is dedicated to helping you unleash your personal and business revenue potential by cultivating referral relationships. In this 10-part series, we'll dive deep into the fascinating world of mindset, exploring how it impacts our business, sales, and honestly every aspect of our lives, and how we can harness its power to achieve success. Today, we're talking about muzzling the monkey. And Athena, I gotta be honest, I could not find this one in the dictionary. So what are we talking about today?
I know, isn't this fun? Okay, so what is Muzzle the monkey? All right, you guys, so this is an Athena made up thing, but I promise you'll understand. So muzzle the monkey. Let me explain what the monkey is. The monkey is that thing on your shoulder that is telling you all your limiting beliefs, your imposter syndrome, all those reasons why you can't, shouldn't, you're not good enough, skinny enough, fit enough, brave enough. You guys get the picture. That's the monkey. And Jada, we all have a monkey. And I like to call it a monkey because it's crazy. And it can create a circus if not tamed. And it can fling some, if we let it. So that's the definition of a monkey. And today we want to put a muzzle on it so it can stop talking and limiting our potential and our growth. That's it.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I appreciate you explaining that.
You're welcome. I know how. All right. So I had to create that. I like to keep things simple so that my brain understands them. And so I just got to tell you guys, maybe you guys are different, but have you ever woke up and your monkey was just going crazy? First thing, it's telling you, hey, you're not prepared enough. You're not good enough. Or you walk into a room and you feel insecure. Or you're going for a job interview, or you have a business plan and you think, I don't come from entrepreneurial people. And I'm just going to get really real. What if you grew up poor? Your monkey could tell you you're never going to get wealth. If you didn't go to college, your monkey could tell you you have a glass ceiling. Or if you have a disability, your monkey could tell you that disability is going to hold you back. I'm dyslexic. My monkey tells me all the time, people are going to see you don't know how to spell. Right? So whatever we've gone through in our life or we're going through, our monkey likes to take all of that and make sure we hear it on a regular. But I want to tell you, Jade, I want to tell a story about a friend of mine who muzzled her monkey. Are you ready? This is so exciting.
I'm ready.
All right. So this happened a long time ago. I mean, I was in my 20s. I ain't close to 20. So I was in my 20s and I was working in retail. So I was a retail manager in my early 20s. And this young lady came to work for me. And someday, Jada, we're going to interview her on this podcast because she's amazing. Her name's Kelly. And so Kelly was working for me. And Kelly was thrown out of her home at 14 years old and became pregnant at 16. And Kelly doesn't have a college education. She gave that up to become a mom. And here she was already in her very early 20s when I met her, a mom of a number of years and working in retail. And I remember so often her telling me stories of what she was told, of how she wasn't going to achieve, and how she wasn't going to be better, grow, develop, get out of the rat race. And unfortunately, she lived in a town surrounded by a lot of other people and with a limited mindset. And so I started working with Kelly and telling her her possibilities and telling her what she could achieve and that her history didn't matter. And her mistakes, if we'll say it as a mistake, right, don't have to define her life. Just because she became a mom when she was young, does that mean her all productivity and ability to achieve is over? No.
Mm-mm.
Other people told her that. What the heck? Right? No. So I just said, no, we're not going to do that. And we started on this road together. She was one of the hardest working people, dedicated, loyal. Hello, if you've never met a single mom, they're some of the hardest working people I've ever met. And she was determined. And every day we would talk and I would coach her, and we started to put a muzzle on her monkey. Now, it didn't take long. I only led her for less than a year. And it was time for me to get promoted to a bigger store. And guess what? Kelly became the store manager. Now, by the way, she wasn't making six figures, but she was doing pretty well for herself. And you know what? Then, after that, she started to see how successful. And I kept coaching her and believing in her. And then what happened is she saw that potential so much that she got a different career, called me, told me about it. And she went into that career. Jada, within less than 5 years, she was making six figures, more money than anyone in her family. She was married. She was having more children. She bought a home. And now fast forward, decades later, now she owns two of her own businesses.
Wow.
Has a beautiful family and lives a life with vacation homes, cars, toys. And I'm not saying the materialism is where it's at. But what I'm saying is, Kelly dared to dream and she put a muzzle on that monkey. And now she has the life that was always meant for her. She just didn't let the monkey win. So I want to tell you, if you're listening to this, have you ever felt like something you've done in the past or where you came from, that monkey is telling you you can't advance, you can't do better? Well, I have found that not to be true in my own life, my husband's life, Kelly's life, and I could tell you I could do a podcast every week for a year of people who've shut up their monkey, put a muzzle on it to do amazing things. So let's put a muzzle on our monkeys.
Yeah. And truly, it really only takes one person to believe in you. And I think that that is so cool that you shared that story about Kelly Athena. And I mean, just that you believed in her enough to where she had an ounce of belief in herself so that she could at least grow so that she could, muzzle that monkey.
Yep. Muzzle the monkey. Maybe we need to do a t-shirt. Muzzle the monkey.
I know. Maybe we'll come out with some swag. I love it. Well, I also love that story and I love facts. So I did want to read something that Dr. Hannah S. Packiam, she wrote about essentially muzzling the monkey in different words. So I'm going to read that real quick. Negative thoughts can take over all aspects of our lives. They can affect our relationship with others, cause low self-esteem, and make it harder to get through our day. Not only can negative thinking adversely affect our mental health by worsening anxiety and depression, but it can also affect our physical health by raising blood pressure and making it more difficult to recover from illness.
Ugh.
So, I mean, that's powerful. And I just want to bring, awareness to a few very common monkeys that I've struggled with, friends I know have struggled with. I know, Athena, you've probably heard all of these and more under the sun. But I did just want to bring up a couple. So,
Great.
one of them is that all or nothing belief. So, thinking in extremes that either everything is all good or all bad. Another one is the less than belief. So comparing yourself and your situation to others and seeing yourself as less than. Then there's just the bad. So seeing only the bad in a situation. And unfortunately, I've known a lot of people that, just see the bad, and it's hard to get them to see the good so that they can muzzle that monkey. So I think that one's especially hard. And then the guilt bearing. So thinking in words like I should, I must, or I ought to have, or I have to. I think that's a big one. And I always say this, and maybe I don't know where I got it, but I'm sure I picked it up somewhere in my language. But don't should on yourself.
Oh, yes.
So, not saying I should have done this or I should do this. It's how can I get better? How can I learn from, okay, maybe what I think I should have done? How can I learn from that experience and move forward? Another one is labeling. So attaching a negative label to yourself or someone else. Another one is fortune telling. So predicting the worst possible outcome for a situation with little or no evidence for it. That one can be, the end of the world is here. And it's like, okay, no, you just had a bad Tuesday. And then another one is mind reading. So believing that you know what other people are thinking, even though they haven't told you. That can be detrimental to yourself, but also to that relationship. Another one is if only and I'll be happy when. So arguing with the past and really longing for the future. And then the last one I wanted to bring up was blaming. So blaming others for your problems. The monkey sitting on your shoulder and saying, it wasn't you, it was XYZ. You could have done this if they had done that. And so just being aware of those, I think, is a really good step. But I'm not the expert in real talk and real strategies now. That's Athena. So I would love to pass it back to you, Athena, and see what real talk and real strategies you have for us.
Excellent. I love this part because this is where the rubber meets the road. But hey, Jada, do you mind? Do you think for our listeners who are on the treadmill or driving that we could, in our comments, put a list of those so they can have some awareness? Absolutely. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll put that in the show notes. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right. So I got to tell you, now we're aware what the monkey is saying. And I just got to tell you, the list Jada just gave us, spot on. That's why I wanted to make sure it got in the show notes. So here's the thing. What do we do now, right? What do we do now? And again, because we know you might be doing something else, we will have in the show notes these 4 steps in order for you to start building your muzzle and putting your muzzle on your monkey. Number 1, awareness. And we're hoping today's session helps you be aware and start hearing all of those monkey voices that Jada just told us, because we got to be aware of them to make them stop. Okay, so that's number 1, is awareness. Number 2, is it truth or emotion? You're like, what's that mean, right? Okay, you guys. Oftentimes, the monkey is propelled through our emotions, not fact, not truth. So when you start to feel something in your gut and the monkey starts to get louder, I need you to do a check, stop, a test, and ask yourself, what is causing this? And is the monkey talking? Where is this coming from? And how do I adjust? Okay? And then the third, and I really like this one. I really, really like this one. I hope you guys are hearing me. Is to write out the truth. Okay, so now we're aware. And now we're actually physically aware when our monkey is talking. Now I want to ask you to write out the truth statements. So let's just take one. if the whole world is bad, right? That's one of the monkey statements Jada told us about. I want you to write out the things that are good. I want you, for each of these awareness posts that we have for you, what's the truth? And start writing out the truth for yourself. Repeat it back to yourself. Repeat it back. And I'll bring this back to Kelly. Kelly had to repeat to herself for a while that she didn't have a life sentence of poverty and lack of success because she became a teen mom. Right? She had to change that. She had to write that truth in her heart and in her mind. And the fourth step, get help. Get a therapist, get a coach, get a mentor, get resources. If you have a monkey that will not muzzle, don't let it win. You're not alone. You don't have to go alone. People have been there before. There are resources available to you to help you get the cognitive therapy and the therapy to work to help muzzle your monkey and realize your true potential, and that you don't have to be defined by mistakes or situations. Yeah. You have an inherent value because you were born a human. And we want on this podcast for you to understand that. And so I want to say today, thank you so much for being here. It means a lot to Jada and I. And we want you to remember that the path of success has challenges and obstacles, and the monkey is real. But with the right resources, focus, and determination, and hard work, you can achieve your dreams and your goals in your business, your personal life, relationships, in your company. You're more than capable, and you're never alone. We're here for you for the endeavor. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. And one of the resources, too, that I did want to point out is Athena's Success Revolution. It's fueled by relationships, referral, and revenue. And it's where she comes to us weekly with growth strategies to take on sales, revenue, and achieve your full potential. And part of achieving your full potential is muzzling that monkey. And so we'll make sure to put that link below in the show notes as well. But don't forget to like and subscribe below so you can join us next week as Athena brings real talk and real strategies on mastering your emotions. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.